Hello students, welcome back to MathFist Java programming tutorials. In this video, I'll discuss two topics. First one is initializing a single dimensional array. Second one is storing elements in a single dimensional array. Let's see the contents. Introduction, storing elements, initializing, storing element by element, and a dry run of a program storing prime numbers in a one-dimensional array. Let's start. We know that arrays is a collection of variables. They are known as elements. And elements of the array are referred by a single name with same data type. Example, int marks, square brackets, declares an array. Marks is equal to new int 80, dynamically allocates or reserves 80 memory locations. So for the programmer, it is very easy, 80, 100, 200, any number of variables with one or two statements. See the next statement. Int marks square brackets is equal to new int 80. So declares as well as reserves 80 memory locations, 80 variables. Now in Java, everything is an object. So length property is populated and marks dot length, if we say, it will return 80. Now once an array is declared, space for the array may be reserved in contiguous memory locations in heap. All the array's objects are declared in heap. Now int marks is equal to new int 8, not 80 this time. Declares 8 memory locations. Marks is an array which has 8 spaces, but index starts from 0 till 8 minus 1, that is 7. Now marks variable stores the address of marks of 0, which is a hexadecimal number. Now index of an array integer starts with 0 till length minus 1. And elements are accessed with the help of array name followed by index. For example, marks of 1, marks of 3, marks of 7, etc. But marks of 8 onwards, the system throws array index out of bounds exception. Why? Because there are valid indices only 7. Now, this part we know already, and see the practice exercise 1. Please do this exercise. For example, int x new int 5. 5 locations are allocated and already populated, let's assume. Then 0 index has first number, that is 8, 1, 90, 88 in the second location, that is index number, third 48, 43, and in fourth location 2. Now what does x of 3 refer to? X is this array, x of 3, 43. Guess output, I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, system.out.print I. So whatever is there in I will be printed, and this for loop works 5 times. First time it prints 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and stops. Now what does x refer? X refer to the starting address of the array, that is the address x of 0, which is a hexadecimal number. Now x of 0 refer to 8. Now guess output of the following code snippet. I is 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, the same loop, but this time we are saying x of I. That means go to the x location, print in the 0 index because I is 0 initially. So this particular for loop, without any problem, prints all 5 elements. Had it been the length of the array is 30, 40, 50, we just use, instead of 5, less than 30, less than 40, something like that. Just 2 lines of code prints whatever is there in array or accepts also. So declaration only one statement, accepting or reading array, 2 statements, for loop followed by reading. I'll teach you that. And then printing is for loop and followed by this statement. Just 5 lines of program. Any number of elements can be declared as well as accepted and printed. That is the power of arrays. Now, storing elements in a single dimensional array. It can be initialized. The array can be initialized, means programmer gives values. Storing element by element, that is the second way of populating the array. Third one is reading from user as parameters or using scanner class. In this video, we will understand 2 concepts, that is initializing and storing element by element. Reading in the next video. Now, let's see initializing a single dimensional array. If the contents of the array are known in advance and the number of elements is fewer, then we go for initializing, means giving values at the time of declaration. Now, elements are given within curly braces separated by commas. Let's see how. Now, there are 2 ways of initialization. First one is initialization while declaring an array. While declaring an array. Second one is initialization after declaring an array. Now, let's see the first one. While declaring an array does not require the usage of new keyword. How do we declare? Int odd square brackets is equal to, within curly brackets, whatever we want to store with commas. So odd is the array name and we are storing 4 elements. What are they? 1, 3, 5, 7. Internally, the system allocates 4 memory locations for odd array and stores 1, 3, 5, 7. The second example is char vowels, AEIOU within single quotes, with commas and within curly braces. String names, square brackets is equal to, within curly braces, ABC, XYZ, 2 strings in double quotes. Now, initialization after declaring an array. It requires usage of new keyword. How? Int odd square brackets declared. After some time or in the next statement, we want to initialize with 5 elements. In that case, odd is equal to, no need of telling that square brackets here because the system already knows odd is an array, not a simple variable. Now, odd equals to new int square brackets, curly brackets start and give whatever values we want to give. The second one, char grades declared. Now, grades is equal to new char square brackets and followed by curly braces and give whatever values we want to give. Now, string names. Names is equal to new string and give the values. Now, let's see a Java program how to initialize. Now, let's see the contents of the class Initialize. Here, class Initialize has a main method in which we are declaring an array int marks square brackets is equal to 94, 67, 45, 89 within curly braces. This is initializing the array while declaring. Now, system.out.println marks, if we say, it will give some hexadecimal number, which is an address of the array. Let's say Control K and try to execute main method from initialize class. See, I at the rate some address, which we don't understand, but we understand one thing, that just marks array address it stores. There is one method called toString method, which is a static method in arrays class. And this arrays class is written in util package. So import java.util.arrays. After that, we say toString method is called from arrays, which is a static method, and pass the array name as a parameter. It does not give any user-friendly output, but it displays whatever is there in the array. Let's execute and see the output. See, 94, 67, 45, 89 from the array. What are they? 94, 67, 45, 89. Similarly, we can declare and initialize different data type arrays. I have added 4 more statements to the initialize class, that to main method. See, char grades is equal to square brackets is equal to within curly braces A, B, C, and printing grades using arrays dot toString. Another one, days array, Monday to Sunday we have stored. All of them are strings in double quotes. And arrays dot toString pass the array name days. So let's see the output. First of all, it will give the address of marks and then prints whatever is there in marks, grades, and days. Control K, execute the program, main method. Okay. See, first array is 94, 67, 45, 89, ABC, then Monday to Sunday within square brackets. But user-friendly output we will give using for loop. Now, one more interesting program here. Let's see this program. Program to populate the array depending on the choice. If choice is 1, initialize with first 5 odd numbers. If choice is 2, initialize with first 8 even numbers. Now, depending on the choice only, that means either choice 1 or choice 2 or any other number. Any other number means invalid input. Otherwise, we need in such cases only one array. Look at this. Scanner class, enter 1 for odd numbers, enter 2 for even numbers, and we are reading choice from the user. Choice can be either 1 or 2 or any other number. And we are declaring only one array variable. And we will be giving values little later on. How? If choice is 1, this num array equals to new int. Choice 1 means first 5 odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And arrays dot toString. Else if choice is 2, 8 even numbers. So the same num variable we are using and assigning or initializing the array with first 8 even numbers and printing. Otherwise, invalid choice. So let's execute this program 3 times and then see the output. Init is the method name, static method, and enter 1 for odd numbers, enter 2 for even numbers. Okay, 1. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Array is initialized. toString method has displayed the array. Let's execute second time. Enter 1, we have seen. Enter 2 for even numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8 till 16, 8 even numbers. What if we give some other number other than 1 and 2? Let's say 4. Immediately invalid choice. So where there is a requirement of either this or that initialization, then we can declare array, only one array, and then populate or store or read. Anything can be done. Now storing element by element. Storing values element by element in the first area, if you see, first 3 natural numbers we want to store. Int natural square brackets is equal to new int 3. First of all, reserved 3 memory locations. Now index starts from 0, we know that. So natural of 0 is equal to 1. First 3 natural numbers. Natural of 1 equals to 2. Natural of 2 equals to 3. And print natural of 0, natural of 1, natural of 2. This is very tedious because 3 read statements and 3 print statements and 1 declaration. Had it been the array size is 30, then what to do? If there are so many elements, number of elements is more, then we use a for loop. Storing values element by element using a for loop. So first 30 natural numbers. So we've declared an array. Int natural is equal to new int 30. 30 memory locations are declared with one statement. Now we are using a for loop. Int I is equal to 0. I less than 30. I plus plus. That means natural of I first time 0, next time 1, next time 2, and so on and so forth till 29. And every time we are storing temporarily incrementing I by 1, I plus 1. Initially I is 0, I plus 1 will be 1. When I is 1, I plus 1 would be 2, and so on and so forth. All natural numbers. With 2 statements, we are populating the array. Now, next 2 statements print. How do we print? Again, for loop. Index starts from 0, we know that, and ends length minus 1. So, I less than 30, I plus plus, and print a natural of I. So, as a programmer, we have written only 5 statements. First statement declared 30 variables. Next 2 statements populated the array, all 30 elements. Of course, in case of reading, user has to give 30. And next 2 statements printing. So total 5 statements to declare 30 variables and read or store 30 variables and print 30 variables with just 5 statements. This is the power of arrays. Let's see a program in the Java environment which stores element by element. Let's see the contents of the class store natural, in which one instance variable is there, which is an array. Int natural is equal to new int 3. Now 2 methods. One is store natural one. Second one is store natural using loop. So what is store natural one? We have seen element by element. In natural of 0, store 1. In natural of 1, store 2, and so on and so forth. And print each one of them in the print statement, which is very hard way. So another method, instance method only, using a loop. I is equal to 0, I less than 3, because we have 3 elements, I plus plus. Natural of I is equal to I plus 1. I was 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 is stored. Then when I is 1, 2 is stored, which I have explained. Now, another loop to print total 5 statements, that is this one, declaring the array, and then 4 more statements. Now, in main method, since all 3 are instance, we are creating an object of the same class. Store natural, object name is S1, is equal to new store natural. Constructor is being called. Now, a message calling store natural one method, this method, first method, and S1 dot store natural one. From here, the control will look for store natural one. Yes, it is found. The control will be transferred to this method and executes. After that, comes back, executes the next statement, that is calling store natural using loop method. So S1 dot store natural loop checks in the same class. Yes, found. Control is transferred over here. In both the cases, output would be 1, 2, 3. Let's execute main method and see. Store natural main method, and in both the cases it prints 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, calling store natural one method, calling store natural loop method. Okay. Now, the next one, even. We may use 2 variables instead of I plus 1, I plus 2, something like that. Even is a variable with 5 memory locations, and we will come to this point a little later on the second line. First for loop is assigning values. What is it? I is 0, 0 index, 2, I less than 5, I plus plus. This particular variable, counter variable, is for loop. And then j is 2, no condition based on j, but j plus is equal to 2 to store the even numbers. First time 2, j plus is equal to 2 is 4, then 6, then 8, and so on and so forth. Every time it stores in I. I is first time 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, 5, exit. So, multiple initialization and multiple updation we are using here. And then printing all 5 elements. So, let's execute this program and then come back, understand why this int len is equal to even.length. Okay. Then store even is the method 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 even numbers. Now, let's assume there is a scenario. You are a programmer writing programs for a college where so many students are there. Initially, there were only 5 students opted for a subject, and we have written a program. Later on, the customer came and requested us. This program clicked, and now we have 50 students. So please change the program and give us. In that case, first of all, we need to change this to 50. And over here, accepting would be 50. Displaying would be 50. And then in case any search, sort, in all those methods, we have to change this to 50. So as a good programming practice, what we do is some length we take. If we know this is exact, then even dot length we store, or we store here our number, let's say 50 or 5, whatever it may be. And then onwards, we use len only everywhere. Everywhere, we use len instead of 50. Now, see, 50 elements reserved, 50 times the loop works, 50 times it prints. And later on, we may change it to 30. Immediately, len would be 30. Len everywhere 30, 30, 30. We don't need to change the entire program and see wherever it is there 5 or 30. You don't need to check. So Control K. Now it will print 30 even numbers. Okay. So even 30 even numbers till 62, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on and so forth. Now, let's go back to our PowerPoint presentation. Storing prime numbers in a single dimensional array. Now, prime number check program, which I have discussed already in lesson 38. The link is provided in the description box. Please go through it once. This program, Boolean is prime, is the correct program, which is returning true or false. When does it return true? If the number sent to it is a prime number. Otherwise, in two cases, it returns false. First one is, if n is 1, return false. 1 is not a prime number. Second one, inside the for loop, find the factors of n. N modulo CTR double equals to 0. That means it is divisible by that CTR. Then return false. Why? Because CTR, we are starting from 2 and ending at n by 2. If it is a prime number, it has only 2 factors. First one is 1, second one is the number n itself. But in the for loop, we are taking what? Starting from 2. 1 we did not consider. And ending at n by 2, at the most, a number is divisible by half of it. So we are not considering n. That means apart from n and 1, if at all there is a factor, then immediately it is a composite number, so return false. So 2 places we are returning false. At the end, we are returning true. Why? Because in both cases, that is n is not 1 and n does not have any other factor, then the number passed to the is prime method is a prime number. So this method we use in the right side, storing first 15 prime numbers. Now PR is an array, memory allocated for 15 elements. Now we are starting int num is 1. Num is 1. And for loop started from j is 0, j less than 15. Why? Because 15 elements or 15 prime numbers we want to store in PR array. Look at the picture below. PR is an array which has index starting from 0 to 14. And then we want to store, what are they? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, all prime numbers. How do we do that? So for loop is not incrementing j because 1 is not a prime number. So we should not increment the index. 2 is a prime number, increment. 3 is a prime number, increment. 4 is not, don't increment. So there is a condition in such a way, if at all prime number, then only increment the index. That's why J++ we did not take inside the for loop. Now inside the for, we are checking if. If at all, we are calling a method here. What is the method? Is prime, and it is receiving a number. So we are passing num. First time num is 1. Is prime 1. So with 1, is prime is called. If number is 1, return false because it is not a prime number. And here in the second method, we are checking if at all is prime returns true, then only store that number in PR of J. J is 0 first time. And then only increment J. So J++. And whether it is a prime number or not, inside the for loop, after if, we are incrementing number to 2. Now, is prime 2? Yes, it returns true. So 2 is stored in the first location. And then J++, J became 1. Then 3 num++. Is it a prime number? Yes. So stores and J++. 4 no, does not store, no J++. Like this, entire array will be filled. And at the end, we are saying arrays.toString PR. No formatted output, just printing the prime number array. Let's see the Java program. Let's see the contents of store primes class, which has one Boolean method, which is private, which is not visible to the user. Now, if n is equal to 1, return false. Otherwise, for loop, return false if there is any extra factor. Otherwise, return true. Now, program to store first 15 prime numbers in an array. And we have declared an array with 15 memory locations. Num is 1, j is 0, j less than 15. J++ will happen here. Now, here little bit changed. If is prime, num, which returns either true or false. Now, if works with only true or false, so I don't need to check double equals to true or double equals to false. Anyway, it is returning true or false. So if is prime num, if returns true, executes this statement. What is it? PR of J++ is equal to num. Otherwise, don't execute. Now, what is PR of J++? This is postfix. So first store in PR of J and then increment. So J is first time 0. If at all a prime number is there, then PR of J is equal to num. Otherwise, J++ also will happen after storing. And then num++, next time 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Let's see the program after execution. See, first 15 prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 47. This is how we store if we know. And if we know also these are prime numbers, we know how to find out a prime number and generating starting from num1 to the last number. Had it been 50, 50 will be displayed. And as I told you already, int len is equal to 50, let's suppose. Then I use, instead of 15, we use len everywhere. And all 50, first 50 prime numbers will be displayed. Here also we can change in such a way, int control V, and here instead of 15 we say plus len plus. So variable is taken. So program to store first len prime numbers. So 50 prime numbers. Everywhere we have taken 50. So control K and then execute the program. So first 50 prime numbers. If you go here, this is not formatted output. So 50 prime numbers are displayed because we have used arrays.toString method. Here is a practice exercise for you. Please go through and please do complete this practice exercise 3 and 1, 2 also before seeing the next video. Refer chapter 7 of Essentials of Computer Applications for further understanding and practice exercises. And the next video is about reading elements into a one-dimensional array. Thank you.